So this is just one of those projects that I can't quite stop making more versions of. I'm not totally sure why. I guess it's because I love the shape and the colors, but I really was excited about showing this to you today. This is what I'm calling my phone stand amplifier. And it is just what it looks like. It's a stand that you put your phone right in here, and you can run the cord through the back there, and you can charge your phone while you are playing some music. And I don't know that it amplifies it a whole lot, but it does direct the sound down through these shapes and out the front, so it does sound a little louder because it's pointing more at you. It's more just for a stand and to be fun. I think kids are going to like this, and even big kids, aka adults, might like this as well. So let me just walk through how this is made, and then I'll take it apart and put it back together with you. So first of all, this is 7 layers, at least I'm using 7 layers at the moment, 7 layers of different materials to make up this look. And I'm using 1/4-inch materials to get the thickness that I need. So the first point I want to make about that is before you finish building yours, make sure that you measure this space right here. And I mentioned this in the details as well. Measure this space, this direction and this direction, to make sure that your phone will fit. First of all, you want to measure it right here to make sure that the width of your phone will fit, because a lot of the big fat cases like the life-proof cases and such may or may not fit there. So check that first. And then when you put your phone in here, you see there's the slot right here that the cord goes through the back and then goes up to the bottom of the phone there while it's sitting in here. When that is happening, the bottom of the phone needs to be kicked all the way to the front right here so that it'll lean backwards onto the handle well. So you need to make sure that this depth is at least what I have here. And again, the measurement is listed in the description. So with that in mind, if you use 1/8 inch or if you even mix different thicknesses together, that's not a problem. You just need to keep in mind this total depth here. Now, the cool thing is, I discovered this when I was making the first couple that I made, is that if I ended up not making enough thickness, I would put it together like this before I used any glue and set my phone in there. And if it didn't sit well, I could just simply cut another one of these inside layers and put it in there to add thickness to it. So that is available to you as well. So let me hit pause real quick, take it apart, and then we'll just put it back together so you know how it goes. Okay, so here we've got all the pieces laid out, and I'll walk through them a couple at a time and show you how it all goes together. Over here we've got our front and our back piece, the back piece with the hole for the cord, and the front piece with the grill slots in it. Now let me pause real quick and mention these. In the design, I've also included two round grill covers that can go on this that you can glue on here to add another just look of depth. So just consider if you'd like that or not. You could make it out of the same color you make the middle out of, or out of the wood. Whatever material you use, just think about what might look good there. So that's in the file as well. So here's the front and the back. Here's the two of the 4 middle pieces here that I did in walnut. And then back here, I've got 2 more of the middle pieces that are just done in MDF, weren't masked or anything, because this is cool. You can put any material you want to in the middle pieces because nobody can see it, so you can use something cheap if you want. So let me show you how this goes together and you'll understand more. So let's grab the front piece. Then you've got one in the middle. And then I'm going to take one of my MDF pieces here. I'll take my pink fluorescent acrylic there. Another MDF. The last interior piece there. And then there's the back piece. And right there we've got the basic structure for our stand. So the next thing that I do is I get them lined up as best I can visually, just like this. And then I'll take the bottom piece like that and slide it through like that. Now, for me, it's not terribly tight, but it's tight enough to hold all the pieces together generally, so I can do this next part. Now, the cool thing again about this is that you can, I don't know if I mentioned this in the earlier, the cool thing about these pieces is when it's opaque material like wood or opaque acrylic, you can put all the glue you want to right here, and when you put it in here, you can't see the glue at all, and it holds everything together. So you can put a lot of glue in here as long as it doesn't squirt out the front or back. Glue here, and glue here, and it'll hold everything together really nicely, which was part of the intent of why I made it this way to begin with. So I just want to mention that real quick. So put that in there. You can glue that if you want to there. And then now these pieces for me are very tight, but it also allows me to put it together without any glue. So for me, I can just barely get these in here, just like that. And of course, again, if I was doing this permanently, I would put some glue in there myself. And I'm going to push them right down in there. You may want to adjust these slightly yourself. And here's the cool thing about that is when you've cut all these pieces, if these end up being too tight right here, all you've got to do, since they're so small, you can edit the width of them just a touch and make it the fit you want, and it doesn't waste a lot of material. So that's really nice. So you can cut all the other pieces and then cut that to fit the way you want it and glue it in. Again, I want to touch real quick one other thing that I mentioned earlier. If this is not the width you need before you glue anything, you can add another spacer in here as well. Just remember one thing. If you change the width of this right here, then these pieces may be too short or too long. So you may have to lengthen these slightly based on how wide you make this whole thing. But that's how it all goes together. I think you're going to really like these a lot. Kids are going to love them. Mix together all different kinds of materials and make it the way you want it to look. And you can get this all out of the a total of a 12 by 20 piece of material. Now, of course, it uses more than that in terms of more sheets because I have different pieces, but the total square inches is a 12 by 20 piece. Hope that makes sense. Anyway, I hope you guys love this as much as I do. I'd love to see what you make and the combinations you put together. Have fun with them. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next one.